Yeah, it's we're going to start, I think, in 2 minutes. So yeah, thanks again, everybody, for attending. I think it's been a couple of months since our last one, so yeah, it's good to catch up with everyone. I hope everybody could hear us loud and clear. If you can't, then please send us a message in the group chat. Also, there's some Q&A. There's opportunities for Q&A at the end. If you have any questions along the way, please let us know. So yeah, we'll start off, I think, in about a minute's time. All right, just ticked over to 4 o'clock. So thanks everybody for attending. So we're going to do a bit of an update on the product and information. So we're doing the webinar. My name's Steve Ruskin. I'm head of sales and channel. Then I've got Pradeep. So he's our product and solution manager. He'll be doing the second half of the presentation. So initially I'll look at doing a little bit about the company, a bit of background, also just some updates as well, and a bit of an overview on sales, etc. All right, so getting into it. Yeah, as I mentioned, the introduction by myself, and then we'll move into the overview and grid code selection, as you can see there. We'll also do some really good training on the technical side as well. So Pradeep will do that, and then in addition to that, we'll do some Q&A towards the end. So I think we're saved about 10 minutes. So if you've got any pressing questions, please feel free to pass those through to the team, and we'll start to answer. All right, so I thought I'd just start with some good news. So just to give everybody a heads up on Huawei and where they are in the market at the moment. So this was released, I think, just last week through PV Magazine. Again, this is it's all verified in accordance with Wood Mackenzie, according to their research. So Huawei has now reached the top inverter rankings for 2021, which is really impressive. So great work to Huawei and the team, including us. So growth, if you're talking about growth in shipments, you can see there on the left-hand side. So Huawei starting number one, and then the rest following to the right. So Huawei has been named the world's biggest inverter shipment for the 7th year in a row. So it's not the first, it's actually the 7th year in a row. So when you're talking about shipments, for last year, it's over just on 52.5 gigawatts. So, really impressive when you consider the Australian market was 5 gigawatts. So 10 times the Australian market. So yeah, really impressive numbers there. I just thought, so a couple of things just really fast about Huawei. Is a leading provider of ICT infrastructure and smart devices. So really just a couple of key takeaways here. I think we've spoken a number of times when I've done presentations about this slide. So probably first one would be Fortune 500. So number 44 in the world for Fortune 500. R&D spend. So number 3 in the world for R&D spend. And when you're talking about employees, almost half the employees involved or working in the R&D division globally around the world. So yeah, look, the Huawei Lunar battery. I thought I'd just do a little bit of an update on the battery, on our position with the battery. So batteries have surpassed any of the numbers that we first put forward in forecasts. So doing really well. We launched it in SEC not this year but last year. So installed well over 2,000 batteries. So getting a really good uptake for batteries. So thank you to all you installers and retailers out there. I think with all the rebates, or a couple of rebates that we have in various states is helping, as well as we're now aligned with a number of VPP platforms. So again, reach out to us and the team if you do need any pre or post installation assistance with batteries. We're more than happy. But really good opportunity at the moment, I believe, in the market to push batteries. I think Huawei's batteries fantastic. You can see from the quality there and the picture, it looks amazing. So over 2,000 installs to date. I think a good way to sell batteries is really through, through case studies as well. In addition to case studies, we're getting really good, excellent reviews. You can see there, really nice on the left of your screen there, a nice installation with a 10 kilowatt hour battery. In addition to that, if you want to send other retailers, consumers, some references or referrals, you can use the Solar Quotes. Solar Quotes link there. You can see there in the middle of the screen. That's a really good link and a really good referral that Finn Peacock's put on Solar Quotes. In addition to that, we've got the Clean Energy Review as well, has given the battery the best high voltage battery modular system in Australia at the moment. So some really good reviews, so you can cross-reference those to end customers. I think this is a really important slide here, a really important message. This is talking about what is one of our key points of difference, and I believe when you're talking about sales messages for this year, it's a one solution for all your solar needs, which I think. So what does that mean? It is a true hybrid-ready plug-and-play solution. It is a turnkey solution. So when you're talking to B2C customers, so majority of your retailers and installers out there will be talking to mums and dads, to consumers. And I think the best way to pitch that is really 6 points, I think is really the key here. So the first point, I think, is ultimate safety. So AFCI, so a lot of AI powered. So any arcs on the roof, the system will shut down, the inverter will shut down. Secondly is brand awareness. So, number one inverter shipments, as I showed, number Fortune 500, number 44, along with a 10-year warranty. And then the third is true hybrid inverter. So it is a true hybrid inverter, DC coupled inverter, so 0.3, and you can also add batteries as well. It's modular. The next one is optimizers. So we have our own optimizer, 450 and a 600 watt optimizer. So the unique feature of that is you can use full or partial shading. So really good opportunity if you need to do that. You don't need to do full deployment of optimizers. We do have a one service window. So we have a local number here that we can call based here in Australia for local tech support. Then the last will be, we're talking about the app as well. So one app, so really one app to monitor consumption, production. You can add in the optimizers as well and add the batteries. So I think really when you're talking about a full turnkey solution and you're not adding other batteries or other inverters or other software components, I think Huawei is far superior. So again, really good 6 unique selling points. All right, so moving forward, just want to talk a little bit about, if you haven't joined yet, if you can go ahead and look at our Facebook page. So I'll just leave it there for maybe 30 seconds to a minute. You can see just scanning the code there, the barcode, and upload it and then join our Facebook page. I think we've got well over 500 already. So look, definitely. You can always message us in Facebook page. So Pradeep's nodding to me now. So he's one of the administrators for that. So we can come back to you with questions and answers, obviously. And then also we have the latest Huawei updates, peer learning. So if you need recommendations for installers in certain states, we can help with that. Also experience sharing as well. So moving into the next one, a little bit about retail partner program. So the retail partner program has been running for almost 18 months now. So we're getting some really good numbers. So you're looking at really getting once you become registered, you'll get the certificate as well. There's the status of three sort of status of registered partners. You've got the standard registered partner, the elite, and the premium elite partner as well. So I'll go through that on the next slide on what you get for that. And So you can see here the benefits. Also, there's a link there as well if you want to copy that link down to put forward the application. And I'll tell you why it's worth other than the benefits I'll talk to you. But we do have a couple of little prizes as well for the first 5 retailers or installers that become an approved retailer, Huawei approved retailers. I'll bring the prizes out in a sec to show you guys. All right, so the benefits of a registered partner. Obviously, you get great support from us here in New South Wales, in Sydney, or anywhere in Australia. So you get to use the local service number, which is a 1-800 number, which is really convenient. You also get the logo. We get offline events and online events like this one, so you always get invited to those. In addition to that, you get exclusive retailer campaigns where we did, buy a pallet of Huawei inverters and you get a free watch, or something along those lines. So we start to run some good campaigns moving into the warmer months. Then Elite, if you move into the Elite partner status, again, same benefits as a registered partner, but you need to do the 100,000 sales for a calendar year. So starting at 1st of January, running calendar year to the end of 2022, once you hit 100K, you become Elite partner status. That will give you leads. It'll also give you marketing sponsorship funds as well, which we can put forward to through to you guys. Addition to that, you also get listed on our, as I said, on the website, and yeah, you can see that up on our website. You'll become one of our Elite partners on the website. Approved partners, I should say. Next one is the highest status, which is the Premium Elite. So Premium Elite partners, you have same as the Elite partner status. You get you need to spend sort of around the $250,000 mark. Hopefully, when the borders open, you get a tour of Shenzhen. Hopefully, maybe not this year, but next year, once China opens up. We do have a really amazing robotics over there in Shenzhen with 2 hotels that retailers, installers, and partners can stay in, which is really good. So just going back to what we're going to offer today. So I've got a couple of really nice products, Huawei products, of course. So we've got a band here as well. So one of the Pro bands. So we're going to look to give that away. Thanks, Pradeep. In addition to that, we've got a nice barbecue set here. I think everyone can see that. So yeah, really nice packaged barbecue set. Hopefully it might warm up a little bit to get out and use the barbie again. Then we've also got a gift pack as well. So you can see the gift pack. So look, yeah, guys, we really want to try and get you involved in becoming one of our approved retailers. There's some really good benefits other than that, but than I just mentioned. But yeah, go ahead and apply, and we can get some of these gifts out to you. So I think that's it from me. So I'll pass you over to Pradeep. Again, we'll come back at Q&A. If you've got any questions, by all means, put them up in the live chat, or we can have a chat in the Q&A at the end. Thanks, everyone, and I'll pass you over to Pradeep.
Thanks, Steve. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. As Steve said, we've got a few wonderful gifts for the first few retail partners. The link is here. I'll mention this again a little bit later on towards the end of the presentation as well. And I saw a lot of people have been joining the Facebook group. Just approved them all, so that's good. Thank you. It's a good source of information exchange and good place to get answers, not just from us, but from fellow installers and retailers. All right. We'll quickly go into the products. So before we go into the L0, so this is the full selection of residential smart PV solution range. So with the L1, which is your single phase hybrid inverters, we have 2, 3, 4, so basically 2 to 6, all the way up to 6. And we have, for the 3 phase, we have the 5 and 6, M1, M for multi-phase, L for single phase. We do have the 8 and 10 3-phase hybrid inverters, which are CEC listed. They are approved. However, they're not ready readily available in the market at this stage because there's a AS4777.1 standard, residential standard, which is a 600 volt limitation. We're just waiting for them to update that to match with the DC side 5033, which is 1000 volts, and then we'll release it to the market. By the way, everyone, if there's any questions at any point, feel free to type it in the question chat box. Q&A, it has been enabled, and we've got a team that are looking into that. And we will have at least 10 or 15 minutes, if not more, at the end of the presentation. If there's any questions, we'll open it up as well. In the meantime, continuing on, we do have this one, the Luna. Steve briefly spoke about this. Beautiful looking battery, Luna 2000. It's a modular design. I'll go into more details about the flexibility, safety aspects of Luna as we go through the training. There is an optional backup box, single phase and a 3-phase. The output at the moment is single phase critical load only. However, the next version 2 of the backup box is going to be a 3-phase full home backup solution with potentially an EV charging port and a few other enhancements as well. That is potentially maybe later this year or early next year. Not sure exactly about the timeline, but we'll communicate with everyone closer to the time. Optimizers, as Steve once again briefly mentioned, the optimizers, I'll go through it in a bit more detail. We've got the 450 watt and the 600 watt optimizers at the moment, and as Steve said again, it can be a partial optimizer deployment solution or a full optimizer deployment solution, or none, depending on the customer scenario. Smart dongle, so this is an optional 4G dongle or a WLAN fast Ethernet dongle for communication. Smart power sensor, again, we've got the single phase and the 3-phase. And with the monitoring portal, it's a FusionSolar monitoring portal. I'll go through the details on how to download this a little bit down the track. So it's basically the same app for commissioning, same app for changing any parameters, same app for looking at your reports. So it's the same app, however, different users will have different rights. So the owner will have different privileges to the installer, and so on. Going to the next slide. So this is the L0. So it's a light version. It's also called Sun 600. This is an affordable alternative if the customer does not need a full hybrid solution at this stage. So it's identical to the L1, which is a hybrid. So the L0, the only two differences are it's not compatible with the optimizers and it's not compatible with the Luna battery. So if the customer does not require storage or optimizers, this is a cheaper alternative. Not sure if I'm allowed to say the retail price, but it's a few $100s cheaper. I'll just go back to the slide again. Sorry. With the AFCI, it's configurable. So by default, it's turned off on this model only. However, it's a quick setting on the app, which is a free FusionSolar app to configure that. We spoke about this 810 M1, which is a hybrid 3-phase inverter. As soon as the standard's updated, we will release a statement. We'll put it up on our Facebook page, and we'll send out an EDM to everyone so everyone's aware of it. This is an exciting EV charger that Huawei is going to release. It hasn't been released in Australia yet. Realistically, it might not be released before Christmas this year. It'll be after. Once we know the timeline, we will communicate with everyone. It's 3-to-1 phase switch, automatic load balancing, and it can work as a standalone application as well. So there's been quite a lot of interest in this, but this is just a preliminary data sheet at this stage. I'm happy to share this for now, but once the timelines are a bit more finalized, we'll be in touch with everyone. We'll communicate the updates. All right, going into the grid code selection. So this is quite a critical topic. So that's the reason it's entered into the webinar. AEMO has been cracking down on wrong grid code selections, and there have been conversations in the background about potentially revoking some of the electrical licenses and things like that to make sure that the grid code is correct. So it is quite important to get it right, and it's not always easy to get it right. So We put up a post on Facebook, and as Steve mentioned, there is a local hotline number if anytime anything is unclear. I'll put up the number a little bit later on in the slides. But basically, Australia A covers majority of the country. Make sure it's Australia A LV230. That's the grid code name. For Western Power in WA, it's B, and for Horizon Power, it's C. So majority of us are going to use A, but just remember for Western Power, it's the B, and Horizon Power, it's the C, and New Zealand, it's probably not too relevant. I'm not sure if anyone from New Zealand is attending here. If they are, kia ora, I'm from New Zealand. I have to put that in there. All right, we'll move on to the next slide. So now the exciting technical training. So I won't get into too many details in the first webinar, but based on how we go, we'll take our feedback that we get at the end of this webinar, and we can arrange more monthly or more periodic ones based on what people are requesting. So we can do like a FAQ, we can do troubleshooting for backup box, or anything specific if you guys want. Please put that in the chat box at any point. So I'll leave this slide for about 30 seconds or so. If you haven't already downloaded the FusionSolar app, this is the QR code. So I'll move the mouse pointer away so you can scan that. So this QR code will work on iPhone or Android, any phones. If you have an Apple phone, you can directly search the iOS store, the Play Store, Apple Play Store for FusionSolar, and you can download it, no problems. With the Android store, you'll either have to scan this QR code or install a Huawei app gallery to install the app, or alternatively, it is on our website. It is on all our quick guides and manuals as well, the QR code, solar.huawei.com/au has the download FusionSolar directly there as well, the link there. So I'll just leave this for another 10 seconds or so. If it's the first time you're downloading this app, before you log in, you can actually click demo site, and you can see one of our volunteer distributors' homes, which is actually live and has given us permission to share the stats as an example. So feel free to play around with that or have a look at the reports and the battery and the usage and everything like that. And at any point, if there's any questions, we're more than happy to answer here. All right, I'll move on to the next slide. So with the optimizers, once again, as we mentioned briefly before, you can use none, you can use partial or full. So it's quite unique in that sense compared to other third-party products out there in the market. You don't have to have every panel optimized. You can just optimize the panels that are shaded because of a tree, because of a roof structure, or for example, in this picture here, different azimuth, different tilts, any other reason. We'll move forward. Another point, however, if you do have full optimizer solution, there's two distinct advantages. One of them is that whenever the system shut down, the output is down to 0 volts, so making the roofs a lot safer for anyone that needs to do any maintenance work up on the roof. And another advantage of full optimizer solution is panel level monitoring. So with the same FusionSolar app that we've been talking about before, if there's full optimizers installed, you can actually have panel level monitoring, and for any arc faults or any kind of faults, it shows up on the app. So the installer or the maintenance person can just go directly to that panel rather than troubleshooting every single one. So that's going to save a lot of time. Just pressing on the arc fault. So we all know what an arc fault is. So unreliable soldered joints or broken cables or any loose PV connectors can cause arc faults. And the AFCI, so arc fault circuit interrupter, is a proprietary algorithm that Huawei inverters have, and it's on by default in most of our inverters. And there are third-party studies, there are white papers and independent studies that I'm more than happy to share. I can talk about just AFCI for hours. I won't, but I can because I'm just so passionate about the safety and reliability. And once again, it comes from Huawei being from a telco background, and even in solar, they started out in utility, then moved to CNI, then moved to residential. So safety and reliability is a huge aspect. To go further, in Holland, the fire safety people and the insurance premiums actually go down if you have Huawei installed products in your house because of the safety features. So it's a huge benefit. Industry standard for an inverter shutdown in case of an arc fault is 2.5 seconds. That's an international standard. Huawei inverters shut down in less than half a second if any arc fault is detected. And we're talking 80 meters, up to 80 meters for single phase and 200 meters for three phase. The majority of the reason, the main reason why most of the third-party inverters have this off by default is because of false alarms, because it is quite hard to detect the arc fault, a real arc fault, and not a false one. So that's the reason they have it off. Huawei has it on by default as well. So that's the confidence that we have in our proprietary algorithms. We'll move on to the battery. So this is the Luna Smart String Energy Storage System, or Luna battery. So there's one power module at the top, and these are the battery modules. So in this picture here, there's 3 battery modules. Each one of these is 5 kilowatt hours. So it's a modular design. If you want to add another 3 5 kilowatt hour battery modules, you just need another power module. So one power module up to 3 5 kilowatt hour battery modules. It's a high voltage DC coupled solution, and you can parallel up to 2 batteries together to give you 30 kilowatt hours per hybrid inverter. So it doesn't matter the size of the inverter, but you can have up to 2 per hybrid inverter. And with the M1s, it's fully compatible. With the M0s, so if any of the customers have M0 inverters installed, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago or so, just let us know the serial number, and we will double check whether it's compatible or not. If it's not compatible, the customer can still purchase the battery, and we will replace their M0 with a new M1 of the same capacity for free. So I can tell you the details on how to do it. It's very simple. Just one email to eu_inverter_support@huawei.com, and we can tell you over the hotline number as well. This is our hotline number here, 1-800-719-871. This is a local Australia-based hotline. If you call us, we can tell you, we can guide you on how to go through that process. It's very straightforward. It's IP66 outdoor or indoor install. Most of them I see in the garages because it's just so narrow that it doesn't really restrict the cars coming in and out. It's nice and sleek design. It's a very stable chemistry, lithium iron phosphate, LFP, 100% depth of discharge, 10 years warranty, and this diagram just shows that you can use modular designs. You can mix and match. You can have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, depending on the customer's needs. And there is an optional backup box. It's not inbuilt. It's optional depending on if the grid outages are frequent and if the customer requires it. Another key, there's 3 aspects that I want to cover about the battery very briefly. Is on the right-hand side is the Huawei Luna solution. On the left-hand side is most other third-party batteries. So what happens is if there's any internal resistance due to just any kind of degradation, for example, the cells are actually in series. So even if you swap out a new cell after a few years down the track, it still performs at the slowest rate of the team, basically. Whereas in Huawei Luna battery, each battery module works independently, parallel to each other. And this little symbol here with the equal symbol is the energy optimizer. And each module has an energy optimizer. So if we swap out a new module, it can perform at 100% efficiency, even if the other modules are performing less than 100, for example. So that's going to give you at least 10 to 30% more usable when you compare it like for like. Safety and reliability aspects, once again, there's 3-layer protection. So in terms of cell level protection, it's the most stable chemistry out there, LFP. In terms of pack level protection, there's 8 sensors per battery module pack and 8 sensors for 16 cells. So each sensor is only monitoring 2 cells. That's the precision or granularity, if you like. Whereas most other third-party products in the market have one sensor monitoring up to 42 cells, or sometimes in some occasions up to thousands of cells. So the precision or the granularity is lost in most other competitors' products. System level protection. So I'll talk a little bit more in the next couple of slides. If there's any faulty pack, it's automatic self-isolation and it's still safe to touch, compliance to the most rigorous standards, VDE 2510. So there's an AI-powered internal cell short circuit diagnosis algorithm inbuilt, which is constantly monitoring for any kind of electrical, thermal, or mechanical abuse. If there's any minor misalignments, then there's an alarm that's sent to the FusionSolar app, and customers can subscribe to that via an email or an alert on the app. If there's anything major, like a sudden drop of voltage, it'll trigger the algorithm to isolate that battery module, the faulty battery module, straight away, immediately. The other battery modules are still functioning, the system's still working. And as a final third layer protection, there is a self-extinguishing fireproof bag inside each battery module. If the temperature reaches 170 degrees, the self-extinguishing fire bag goes off, and it's a warranty claim for that battery module. It will be swapped out. So there's a lot of inbuilt safety features to protect the end customer. 0-volt rapid shutdown for safer installation and maintenance. So this is on the side of the battery here, emergency shutdown to 0 volts. And under installation or maintenance scenario, the energy optimizers actually work as basically as isolators to keep the voltage of each battery module at 0 volts to make sure that it's safe. And under emergency shutdown, the DC switch is on the top. It can trigger 0 volts output on each battery module. Overall, what this leads to is a better experience. So quick commissioning and quick registration with one FusionSolar app. As long as the wiring is done correctly, should not take longer than a few minutes. If you have most other solutions with X party inverter, Y party battery, Z party optimizer, for example, then you might have to use multiple apps. You might have to be on the phone with multiple people. There's no blame game. It's one service window, as Steve mentioned earlier as well. It's same company optimizer, inverter, battery, meter, dongle. It's one app and it's free. There's no subscription fee with the optimizers, especially. I know most other people in the market charge for any kind of extra monitoring or their app. There's no fees for Huawei app or monitoring if there's optimizers installed or anything like that. Moving on. So auto detection, as I said, so as long as the wiring is done correctly, it's auto detection. It shows up in the app. It shows up a nice green tick. If it's not a green tick, then it's most likely a wiring issue or need to troubleshoot. And yeah, usually I've been on sites where everything went smoothly, and it does take just a few minutes. Where it did not go very smoothly, it's 99% of the time it's a wiring related issue. With the battery working modes, so these can be set later on or during the commissioning process as well. So there's 3 working modes. Maximum self-consumption is probably the one that most people use, probably the most popular, because the feed-in tariffs are pretty low in Australia. However, there is an option for customers to use time of use. So they can set the time when the battery will charge and when the battery will discharge. And they can have up to 14 different cycles. So weekend different, weekdays different, and fortnightly based cycles automatically. So basically set and forget. Or there is a fully fed to the grid as well, if the feed-in tariffs somehow magically go up in the future or for any other reason. There is an option. So 3 battery working modes, and these can be set anytime using the same app. Just a quick slide about backup box, because we've been getting quite a few questions, service calls about this. So whenever a backup box is installed, in order to test it, the off-grid mode needs to be enabled. By default, it's actually disabled. So quite a few installers on their first install may not realize this, which is fine, which is the reason it's here. And a quick call to the local service hotline will we should be able to guide you as well, but it's there just so that people are aware of it. So again, it's under inverter parameter settings. This is a quick SLD to let everyone know that we can do, although Huawei battery is a DC coupled solution, we can use it as a retrofit if the customer has an existing solar system, so a third-party inverter connected to PV. We can still add Huawei Lunar battery with a Huawei hybrid inverter. And the only additional thing that's required in this scenario is an additional smart meter at the end of the third-party inverter and normal smart meter at the switchboard end. So these two smart meters can communicate and guide the battery regarding the charge here. So if there's any questions regarding this kind of scenarios, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help. And just to reiterate, this is my last slide. Just to reiterate what Steve mentioned with the retail partner program, I'm really getting jealous of looking at all these gifts. So better to get these off our hands very quickly. So there's quite a few gifts. So we've got, I'm going to block my face now. There's a few gifts that are ready to be given away. So if you would like to go on that page and make sure you register. If there's any questions or any trouble while you're registering, once again, either the hotline number or we'll leave our contact details in the chat box later on. And please go ahead. And I think we're going to move on to Q&A now. Thank you very much for your attention. Didn't want to make it very long. And if there's feedback on what kind of topics you'd like us to cover in the next webinars, please let us know. We can go into more detail or less detail, whatever you guys want. Just feel free to leave comments in the chat box. And let's just open up the floor now. Cool, cut through.
All right. Thanks, Pradeep. Very informative, mate. Good job.
Thank you very much. We kept it short, by purpose. Yeah. So, Derek, Jonas, any questions that you guys want to discuss together? There you go. There's a few questions. Let's have a go through. How do I get a user ID to set up as a partner? Okay. A channel manager will contact you separately. Okay. What we can do is there is a PowerPoint PDF slide.
I have some questions now, yeah.
Yeah, there is a PowerPoint slide pack that we can send it through to you. If you guys wouldn't mind, maybe, I think when you registered, you did put the email address through. So what we'll do is we'll send that registration steps PDF to basically everyone that's registered for this webinar. By the way, these gifts are just for the people who attended this webinar, guys. So this is just to thank you for your time and efforts and becoming a retail partner as well.
That's it.
So Derek, are you online? Did you want to answer some of these questions?
Why don't we
I'll
read them
introduce.
out? Do you want to read them out?
Yeah, actually, we'll get Derek here. Yeah, I think Derek has access to. I'll unmute.
Yeah, hi guys, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, man.
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, actually, like the vote file and the vote wall settings has been like pre-programmed and integrated in the grid codes. So as long as like the correct grid code has been selected, we actually don't need to worry about setting vote file and the vote walls separately.
Great.
All right.
Thanks for the question, Benjamin. Hope that answers it. So it's once again, it's very critical to choose the correct grid code.
All right. Any more coming through? What have we got?
Pleasure, guys.
Okay, one from Andrew here.
Andrew, we're set up as an account and have dozens of customers under my FusionSolar app. Is this different to the user ID? Yes, it is. So for the retail program, it's different. And for the FusionSolar app, that is different. So those user IDs are your customers' user IDs that you're looking after under your account. This is a partner program, retail partner program with Huawei. So it's different. There was another question here. Can you please run through the multiple inverter third-party scenario again? Arif, yes,
Arif,
definitely. Arif, definitely, we'll do that.
Yep.
There's another question. Does the system owner have access to the setup for time of use for the battery? Yes. If the user is set up as a owner, they do have access. They can set up time of use and they can change it as they please. So we'll just quickly go back to the presentation and go through the multiple scenario.
Yep.
So multiple inverter third-party scenario. So I'll just repeat what I said. So this is the existing PV with a third-party inverter. What we're adding is a Huawei inverter with Huawei Luna battery. And we have to add an additional smart meter number 2, at the end of the output of the third-party inverter. This smart meter 1 is the normal standard setup at the switchboard end. So this whole thing at the top is a normal Huawei setup, except this inverter is not connected to any PV because the customer maybe made a mistake and put another party inverter a couple of years ago, but they know better now. Just kidding, not really.
All right.
Arif, if you have any other questions, like more detailed questions, we can have a chat offline.
We can send you a slide through as well, Arif, if you want.
Yep. Everyone's more than welcome to have this full slide pack as well. Let's go back to Q&A.
Bruce?
Bruce, yep, we've answered that question, I believe.
You got that? Yep.
And the local hotline number, once again, guys, is 1-800-719-871.
Got to put it in there. Maybe somebody can put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat box as well. 1-800-719-871.
Yep.
And the other international hotline number is still valid, and that's 24/7. This is during business hours. We have set up many Huawei and Luna batteries. All I can say is amazing and gives great information, nice and easy once you know how to configure. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. That's good. You'll get a gift for that. Thanks, Andrew. Hopefully, thanks, mate. That's good feedback. Appreciate it.
You said it. You can't take it back. He's getting the
exactly.
gift.
Now you've
All
got
right,
a gift.
Andrew, you're getting the gift.
It's one of yours. But don't everyone send out fantastic comments. Or you can if you want, but that gift's coming to you right now.
Steve said it. Can't take it back.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go. Well done. The first very positive comment in the Q&A. I mean, we appreciate that. Thanks.
All right.
Like you said, it's always once you know how to configure. So that's the key. So the first install, if you guys have any questions or any kind of clarifications, this is what we're encouraging the retailers to do, to give us a call a day before or a few hours beforehand, and to make sure that you got all the equipment, you're equipped to kind of go there and do the install without too many headaches. Because we get a lot of FAQs, so we can educate the installers so that you spend less time on site. Because we're trying to improve that as well.
Yeah, so by all means, you've got the local number there now. So if you do need to go out prior, or just to get a bit of a heads up on the installation, and we can talk you through any of the problems that we've had or anything that we need to get over previously, or issues that we've had previously. So yeah, just let us know. Give us a call on that 1-800 number, and we can help you. Or Pradeep can reach out directly as well. So
absolutely
make it a smooth transition or a smooth installation.
All right, guys, we'll wait for another minute or so if there's any other questions. Can you please send the link for FusionSolar app? Absolutely. Yeah. Ravin Kumar, yes, definitely.
Maybe put that in the chat there as well? Or
yep. So Jonas or Derek, can you put the solar our website, solar.huawei.com/au, and then you can download the app directly. If it's an iOS device, Apple, you can search for it on the store. While we're on this, guys, if you search on your desktop for FusionSolar, it might revert you to EU, which is a European FusionSolar portal. Don't get confused. Use INTL, which is our international one. So there you go. Derek put up that website. So any device, you can download it directly from that. Android device, it'll ask you whether you want to download via browser or via app gallery. It's totally up to the customer's choice. As a solar
From
contractor,
Gareth, okay, yeah.
who handles sales, design, and installation of system? What kind of partner would I join as? Would it be sales partner? That's correct, Gareth. It'll be sales partner. That's a good question. Gareth is in the lead, I guess, for the retail program gift. So I think Derek and Jonas, if you could maybe send that presentation, the PDF presentation on how to join the program, it'll be great to put it up here, or send it to everyone who's registered for this webinar. I think that'll be a very useful resource.
Yeah.
It should take about 15 to 20 minutes max, because there's a couple. It should, yeah.
Should,
there's a
in
couple
theory,
of steps that are a little bit tedious, but it's a one-off thing, you know.
That's it.
We both don't like paperwork, but we still got to do a lot. So
That's it. Exactly.
bear with it.
The end result's good.
Yeah.
All right, what have we got coming on next?
Any other questions, guys?
Any other questions?
Jonas, Derek, any other questions coming through?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, we have a question here from Yvonne. So, will Huawei exhibit at Next Gen?
No, Huawei will.
Energy
Statement.
Next on the 19th to the 20th.
Yes, it will be there.
Yes, that's yeah, good point. So just to let everybody know, in Sydney next week on the 19th and 20th, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will be exhibiting at Energy Next, which is supported by the CEC. So yeah, by all means, come along, come and have a chat to us. I think we've got majority of the products on display. We've got all our team there as well. So yeah, definitely drop in and introduce yourself and have a chat. That'll be good. Good to see you guys again. I think the last one was at SEC. So nice to have and see everybody again. And yeah, get your support.
Absolutely.
All right, so that was good. Thanks, Yvonne, for that reminder, and thanks again, Yvonne, while I'm here, for organising all of this as well. So, got some good support team around us. So, thanks, Yvonne, again for organising this event, which is great.
Yeah. At any point, please feel free to give us any feedback on what kind of events you want in the future as well with the webinar topics. We'll be more than happy to take that into account. I knew you were going to say that.
What about some phones?
I'd like that too. Let's have a look at what we can do.
Yeah, no, we can't. Anyway, I'll get in trouble. We can put it on a long list.
Yeah, if that's the feedback that we get, we'll look into it. Let's see what feedback we get. All right, guys. We'll. Yes, please. There you go. Yes.
Already, yeah. Are the watches? You got a watch?
Mate, you need to start talking now, I think. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's look at the feedback. Definitely.
Right.
Anything's possible.
Just thinking, if we got any further, so other than Energy Next coming on next week, is there any events that we're doing or any promotions at this stage?
I think there's a few in the pipeline. We'll put it up on
Brisbane, I think the following week.
Yeah. So we've got a certain distributor events coming up as well, and Steve should be in charge of marketing. He's in charge of everything, mate.
Yeah, please.
Anything in Brisbane? Yes.
Yeah,
there is something coming up in Brisbane next month. Or?
Yeah, not next week, the week after.
Actually, in July.
So
we'll keep you informed.
We'll keep you informed, and we'll put it out maybe on the Facebook page or some social.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll be up there in Brisbane, which would be good. Good to catch up with some of our retailers up there, installers. Yeah.
Definitely. There's a couple of questions here. Do you have an installation and commissioning checklist for the battery? So Derek will organize this one. We do have it. We'll email that one out as well. Not a problem. There's another question we missed here, I think. Hi. Will the 3-phase inverter run if one phase is lost? Derek, there's a question for you.
This is from Doug. Yeah.
Doug Smith, thank you for asking.
No, because like when the inverter, like the three-phase inverter detects the unbalanced voltage from the grid, the inverter will just stops working.
All right. Yep.
So with the three-phase inverter, it has to be three-phase. However, we've seen properties where it's a single-phase, two-phase or three-phase, and you can put a single-phase inverter on just one phase, have the battery, have the backup box, everything on just one phase. Why would you do that? It just depends on different customer scenarios. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
And you said that was to do with the balance load there across
It's
the
the
three
frequency.
phases. Yeah. Okay.
It's a great question. I think we should give Doug something.
Hey, I thought you said I was
Doug,
the marketing guy.
you'll
the
get a
giveaway
gift
guy.
as well. We'll organize a gift for you as well.
We'll give you Pradeep's phone. How's that?
I don't think anyone wants my phone.
No,
It's
no.
an old
Or your
one.
watch.
So
All right.
make sure you won or Jonas, you're recording all our comments so that we have to honor these.
All right. So Roy, yeah.
Is Huawei looking to bring out a three-phase backup box to back up three phases? Yes,
Yes.
definitely. So the version 2 of the backup box will be three-phase full home backup solution with EV charger port. So that will be released early next year. As of now, don't hold me to the timeline. We'll update you as soon as we know more information.
And is that for EPS only, or will it run the whole house?
It's at the moment what I hear is basically the whole home, three-phase whole home backup. Yeah.
Okay. And it's actual three-phase, because there's a lot of demand at the moment for an actual three-phase backup. So,
absolutely, yeah.
All right, that's good.
I think that'll be a great product.
Good to hear.
Huawei needs to manufacture panels.
Yeah. Probably not. Yeah, I think in manufacturing, you either do panels or inverters. So inverters are more to do with technology, more about the brains of the system. Yeah, panels are a little bit more commoditized. It's the production's a little bit more simplistic. So when you're a tech company like Huawei, you tend to do and build something that's going to add value with tech, and that's more inverter side of or battery side of things. So yeah, nice to get a wrap solution, but at this stage it's not on the table.
All right, great team. Any other last minute questions? We'll probably wrap it up if there's no other questions. It's been great. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, me too. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see everybody out there, sort of, and good to catch up with yourself. So, all right. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for attending. I think we're just about done on time. So, again, thanks everyone for support. Look forward to seeing everybody next week as well here in Sydney. And so, yeah, thanks everyone, and all the best. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much once again. Cheers, everyone.
Close in there.
Yep. Just seeing if there's any. Could I please have someone contact me to assist becoming partner? Yes, Roy, definitely. If you could give the hotline number a call, or I'll put my email address here. It's pradeep.anasuri@huawei.com. I'll put that in there. Yep. Any kind of assistance for partner program or any other questions, my email's there. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll close the session now. Any last minute questions we missed? No?
Coming up? Oh, no panels.
No, that's fine. All
right,
good.
I think it's done. Going to closed.
Yep.
Left. Yeah.
Just want to make sure there's no last minute questions.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you again, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's good.